Everyone you know is lying to you. Not maliciously, not constantly, but far more than you realize. That includes your spouse, your kids, your best friend, your doctor, your therapist, and yes, you're lying too. Studies suggest the average person tells between 2 and 3 lies per day, but that's wildly underestimated because it only counts the lies people remember and admit to. The real number? Try closer to 10, 20, maybe more. We're swimming in an ocean of deception, so normalized we don't even recognize the water anymore. Here's the thing that'll mess with your head. Most lies aren't the dramatic betrayals you see in movies. They're not affairs or embezzlement or fake identities. They're micro-lies, white lies, omissions, exaggerations, selective truths. I'm 5 minutes away when you haven't left the house. I love your haircut when you think it's terrible. I'm fine when you're falling apart. Sorry, I didn't see your text when you absolutely did. We lie before we can even talk. Babies fake cry for attention. Toddlers deny eating the chocolate that's smeared across their face. By age 4, children lie once every 2 hours. By adulthood, we've become so sophisticated at deception that we don't even register we're doing it. Lying isn't a character flaw. It's a fundamental human skill that evolution selected for, because sometimes honesty gets you killed or cast out from the tribe. The psychology behind why people lie more than you think starts with a brutal truth. Pure honesty is social suicide. Imagine if everyone told the complete truth for just one day. Marriages would end. Friendships would implode. Jobs would be lost. Society would collapse into chaos. We don't lie because we're bad people. We lie because cooperation requires lubrication, and lies are the WD-40 of human interaction. Take the "how are you" ritual. It's a question that demands a lie. Nobody actually wants to hear about your existential crisis, your hemorrhoids, your marital problems. They want "fine, thanks, you." This isn't deception. It's social protocol. But it trains us from childhood that lying is not only acceptable but expected. Required even. I watched this play out at a dinner party where someone actually answered honestly. "How are you?" the host asked. "Terrible," the guest replied. "My mother's dying. I think my wife's having an affair, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting fired next week." The room went silent. People physically recoiled. The honest person became a social pariah, avoided for the rest of the evening. His crime? Telling the truth when everyone expected the comfortable lie. We lie to protect ourselves, and this starts younger than you'd think. Children with strict parents become masterful liars not because they're morally deficient but because they're adapting to survive. The kid who gets screamed at for minor mistakes learns to hide everything. The teenager with controlling parents creates elaborate deceptions. These aren't character flaws. They're survival mechanisms that become hardwired into personality. The self-protection lies continue into adulthood, just with more sophistication. I have a boyfriend, instead of "I'm not interested." I have plans, instead of "I don't want to hang out with you." It's not you, it's me, instead of "It's definitely you." We've collectively agreed these lies are more kind than the truth, but they're still lies, and we tell them constantly. Then there are the lies we tell to protect others, which we've convinced ourselves are virtuous. Your friend's baby looks like an angry potato, but you say it's beautiful. Your partner's cooking tastes like seasoned cardboard, but you say it's delicious. Your co-worker's presentation was a disaster, but you say they did great. We call these white lies and pretend they don't count, but they're still deliberate deceptions, and they add up to dozens per week. The protection lies get darker when you realize we often claim we're protecting others when we're really protecting ourselves from their reaction to the truth. "I didn't tell you about the diagnosis because I didn't want to worry you" really means I couldn't handle dealing with your emotions about my diagnosis. "I didn't mention I lost my job because you were stressed" really means I was too ashamed to admit I lost my job. Status lies are everywhere, and social media has turned them into an art form. Every carefully curated photo, every humble brag, every selective presentation of reality is a lie by omission. But it goes beyond Instagram. People lie about their income, their education, their experiences, their relationships, their happiness. We inflate our successes and minimize our failures. We pretend to have read books we haven't, seen movies we haven't, understood references we don't get. I knew a guy who built his entire social identity on being well-traveled, told elaborate stories about his adventures in Thailand, Peru, Iceland. Turns out he'd never left the country. He'd constructed these narratives from travel blogs and YouTube videos. When exposed, he broke down, not from guilt, but from terror. Without his false identity, he didn't know who he was. He'd been living the lie so long, it had become more real than his actual life. The lies we tell ourselves might be the most frequent of all. I'll start tomorrow. This is the last time. I'm not addicted. I'm over it. I don't care. I'm happy for them. We lie to ourselves about our motivations, our feelings, our capabilities, our limitations. These internal lies are so constant, so automatic, that we genuinely believe them. The person who says they're not a jealous person while checking their ex's social media daily. The parent who claims they're not living through their kids while forcing them into activities they themselves failed at. Self-deception is a psychological necessity. The depressive realism hypothesis suggests that depressed people actually see reality more accurately than mentally healthy people. The rest of us maintain our sanity through a network of self-lies. Everything happens for a reason. It'll all work out. I'm a good person. Strip away these protective delusions, and you're left staring into an existential void that most psyches can't handle. Relationship lies are their own category of constant deception. Every couple who says we never fight is lying. Every person who claims they've never thought about someone else while with their partner is lying. Every I'm not upset when they're clearly upset. Every it's fine when it's not fine. Every I don't mind when they absolutely mind. These micro-lies accumulate into relationship patterns where nobody's telling the truth, but everyone's pretending they are. The sexual lies are particularly universal. People lie about their number of partners, men up, women down, their satisfaction levels, their desires, their history, their attractions. There are couples who've been married for decades, where one or both partners have been faking orgasms the entire time. The lie becomes harder to confess the longer it goes on, so it becomes a permanent feature of the relationship. Professional lies are so normalized, we have euphemisms for them. Networking often means pretending to like people you don't. Team player means agreeing when you disagree. Great question means, that's a stupid question, but I need to be polite. Every performance review, every letter of recommendation, every great to see you to a colleague you despise, the workplace runs on lubricated dishonesty. I watched a woman give a presentation about authentic leadership while wearing a wig to hide her natural hair, shapewear to hide her natural body, makeup to hide her natural face, and a fake smile to hide her natural exhaustion. The irony was lost on everyone. We demand authenticity while simultaneously punishing anyone who actually practices it. The lies of omission might be the most common. What we don't say often matters more than what we do. Not mentioning the ex who texted, not sharing the doubt about the relationship, not admitting the debt, the addiction, the diagnosis, the fear. We convince ourselves that not saying something isn't the same as lying, but deliberate omission is just deception with plausible deniability. Parents lie to children constantly. Santa Claus, the tooth fairy. The dog went to live on a farm. Daddy's just tired. Everything's going to be okay. We justify these as protecting innocence, but we're really training children that authority figures will lie to them for their own good. Then we wonder why teenagers don't trust us. Children lie to parents even more. Every teenager is living a double life their parents know nothing about. The good kid who's experimenting with drugs, the straight A student who's cheating on every test, the virgin who's sexually active, the happy kid who's suicidal. Parents think they know their children, but they know the performance their children have learned to give them. Medical lies are shockingly common. Patients lie to doctors about their drinking, smoking, drug use, sexual activity, diet, exercise, and whether they're taking their medication. Doctors lie to patients about uncertainty, prognosis, and their own mistakes. Everyone's lying to insurance companies. The entire medical system operates on a foundation of mutual deception, where everyone pretends to tell the truth, while knowing nobody actually is. The speed of lying is what's really revealing. Brain studies show we can lie as fast or faster than we can tell the truth, suggesting deception isn't a deviation from our default state. It's part of it. We don't think then lie. We often lie then think. The decision to deceive happens in milliseconds, before conscious thought engages. Your brain has already decided to lie before you even know you're going to. Technology has made lying easier and more constant. Every lol when you didn't laugh. Every just saw this when you saw it hours ago. Every excuse for not responding when you just didn't want to. Dating apps are basically lying platforms. Old photos, exaggerated heights, fictional interests. We're living increasingly digital lives where deception is just a click away. But here's where it gets really interesting. We're terrible at detecting lies, despite how often we encounter them. We think we can spot deception, but studies consistently show we perform barely better than chance. The tells we look for, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting, stammering, are more often signs of nervousness than lying. Confident liars maintain eye contact, speak smoothly, and show no physiological signs of deception. The people we trust most might be lying most. Intimate partners, family members, close friends, these are the people who know us well enough to lie effectively. They know what we'll believe, what we want to hear, what we'll overlook. The closer someone is to you, the better equipped they are to deceive you, and the more motivated they might be to do so to maintain the relationship. Cultural lies vary but are universal. Americans lie about success and happiness. British people lie through politeness. Japanese lies preserve harmony. Russian lies navigate bureaucracy. Every culture has its own taxonomy of acceptable deceptions, its own rules about when lying is not just permitted but required. The evolutionary psychology of lying reveals why it's so fundamental. Our ancestors who could deceive had advantages in mating, resources, and survival. But so did our ancestors who could detect deception. We're locked in an evolutionary arms race between better liars and better lie detectors, with lying currently winning. Some people lie pathologically, but even that's more common than we admit. Compulsive lying affects about 5% of the population. That's 1 in 20 people. These aren't necessarily malicious individuals. They often can't control the lies. Their brains have become wired for deception as the default mode. They lie about things that don't matter, that offer no advantage, that actually hurt them. The lying itself becomes the point. The gender dynamics of lying are fascinating. Men lie more frequently but tell smaller lies. Women tell fewer but bigger lies. Men lie to appear more impressive. Women lie to protect feelings. Men lie about facts. Women lie about feelings. Both sexes lie constantly, just differently. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The most honest people you know are probably just selective about which truths they tell. They're not lying less. They're choosing their deceptions more carefully. The person who prides themselves on brutal honesty is often brutally dishonest about their own motivations, using truth as a weapon while lying about why they wield it. We even lie about lying. Surveys about deception are hilariously unreliable because people lie about how much they lie. We minimize our own deceptions while overestimating others. We reframe our lies as protecting feelings or avoiding conflict, while seeing others' lies as character flaws. The neurological basis of lying shows it's not a moral failing but a cognitive feature. The same brain regions that enable imagination, planning, and creativity also enable deception. You can't have one without the other. To lie requires theory of mind, understanding that others have different knowledge and perspectives than you. It's actually a sophisticated cognitive ability that emerges alongside our highest intellectual functions.
So why do people lie more than you think? Because lying isn't a bug in human software. It's a feature. We're not fallen angels who should tell the truth, but fail. We're social primates who survived by balancing truth and deception, cooperation and competition, trust and suspicion. Every lie is a small gamble that the social benefits outweigh the risks of detection.
The real question isn't why people lie so much, but why we maintain the fiction that they don't. We know everyone lies. We know we lie. Yet we act shocked when lies are revealed, as if deception is exceptional rather than constant. This might be the biggest lie of all, the collective delusion that honesty is the norm when deception is the default. Understanding this isn't meant to make you paranoid or cynical. It's meant to make you realistic. People aren't lying to you because they're bad, or because you're foolish. They're lying because they're human, and so are you. We're all swimming in the same ocean of necessary deceptions, collaborative fictions, and social lubricants that make civilization possible. The person who claims they never lie is telling you the biggest lie of all. The couple who says they're completely honest with each other is living in mutual delusion. The friend who says they always tell you the truth is selectively forgetting all the times they didn't. We're all liars. The only variable is how conscious we are of our deceptions. Maybe the healthiest approach isn't pursuing impossible honesty, but developing what we might call conscious deception. Awareness of when and why we lie, choosing our deceptions deliberately rather than defaulting to them unconsciously. Not lying less necessarily, but lying better, with more awareness, more purpose, more consideration of consequences. Because here's the final truth about lies. They're not going anywhere. As long as humans exist, we'll deceive each other and ourselves. We'll craft elaborate fictions, tell little white lies, omit uncomfortable truths, and pretend things are fine when they're not. We'll lie to survive, to thrive, to connect, to protect, to wound, to heal. We'll lie because we're human, and being human is complicated enough that sometimes the truth is simply too expensive to tell. The next time someone tells you something, remember, they might be lying. The next time you tell someone something, remember, you might be lying too. And somehow, despite this ocean of deception, we manage to love, trust, connect, and build lives together. That might be the most beautiful lie of all, that truth matters more than it actually does in the daily business of being human.